Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Monday, and I am just getting things all tightened up here in the studio. Still, still trying to get things in order after last night's little run-in with, let's just say, me, cameras, lights, and gravity. And let's just say that gravity won a few times, and especially when it came to the camera and the lighting system. But uh, did a quick check, and you know what? My little buddy has been on here numerous times. Not one person, well, that's not necessarily true. A few have noticed him, but only after bringing him up. But my little boy, man, Groot, it's only taken me forever to remember the little shithead's name. Um, but I tell you what a difference it has made in here. Um, it's funny too because talking to people who have been that I've been lucky enough to know in the radio business and in social media, telling me about different things as far as studios. And the one thing was when you're in the studio, if you're doing stuff like this, where you've got cameras, you got mics, you got keyboards, you've got phones, shit laying on your work area, your desk, your table, whatever it may be. Keep it neat and have your shit so you know where everything is, and be very careful not to you know have anything liquid that you could spill on your electrical devices. Cheers. And it's so funny because I've talking people I've talked to people, like I said, um, who have been on the radio for a long, long time, and I'm talking on major platforms, and they've all said the same things. Do you know how many times I've spilled shit all over the keyboard, all over monitors, and different things? And I can honestly say I've joined that club. But this is basically right now. We did go on last night for a short time, and to just do a real quick check to make sure that things actually functioned at all. Wanted to make sure that you could still see because of the hit the camera took. Wanted to make sure that you could still hear because of the wires and stuff that were getting all jarred around, to make sure that nothing happened with the wiring. And the feedback that we got was all good. So what do you do when everything is good and doesn't need to be screwed with? Well, if you're the normal person, you just leave the shit alone. If you're me, you start screwing around with shit again. So that's what I did. Change the lights around just a little bit, which I'm sitting here. Um, a few little tweaks here and there for the lights and the camera angle. Little things that I really have no idea what I'm talking about as far as, sometimes I've been on shows where the producer will be in the studio and they're talking about all this technical shit as far as the angle of the cameras, where the lighting is casting shadows, making sure that you're not getting a glare off the back, make sure you're using proper diffusers on the lights and this and that. And I just sit there and have no clue what they're talking about. And I just deal with it and go. But somewhere back in this little pea brain of mine, I I do listen and I learn. And I've been very blessed by the people that I have been able to work with in the past, uh, 3 years that my fighter war's been around, and more so the past just over a year that we've been really going after the podcast, the shows, and doing this stuff. And the one thing I do is, like I said, I'm not a complete idiot. Is I listen to the people who are very, uh, very successful in what they're doing. I mean, I listen to everybody. different ideas, different thoughts, what works, what doesn't. And just like in recovery, man, just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Just because you say something is fantastic and amazing, and you recommend it to everyone else, that's great, and it might work for somebody else. I mean, that it's just an individual thing, and the same goes for doing podcasts. The same goes for anything in life. For me, I am going to listen and take little mental notes of everything that's going on around me, things that I feel that could improve the podcast, the show, the studio. I mean, if you don't, you're an idiot. If you think that your way is the only way, you're an idiot, because it's not. And I mean, your way, as long as it helps you, is the best way. We all know that. But so that's what I've been doing. Taking little mental notes when I do go to um, other shows that I'm a guest on, other studios. I take little mental notes of the lighting system, where they're at, how they're positioned, the cameras, the monitors, just stuff like that. That in the past, obviously, I could give a shit about, but now it's actually pretty damn cool. So that's what I'm doing now. Is just getting the lighting a little bit. Um, so far, so good. And we are going to be going live tonight. I went on earlier, and we're going to be going live with the one and only Lori Masonia out of Athens, Alabama. Let's see here. I tried to make sure that this has been able to share. But as of yet, it didn't let me. So let's see if it does it now. And it's still not letting me for whatever reason. So I don't know what that's all about. It's actually not letting me share this to any other platforms, any other pages. But see, that's why I do this stuff, is just to try to figure it out before going on with our guests, make sure everything's good. So other than that, though, beautiful day here in Detroit, and sun is shining. A little bit chilly this morning, but that is going to change. So I remember before, when I would come on and do lives or videos, especially when I was off work, it was, thinking back, I feel sorry for you guys, man, because I was going live constantly throughout the day, every day, because that's when I was dealing with the recovery from all my surgeries, whether it was my shoulder surgery, whether it was my back surgery, and everything else. So I had nothing but time, man. So why not? If you can do it, do it. It would be stupid not to. So that gave me the opportunity to, get my Fight Our War out there, to get the message out there, to talk to people, to invite people on. Tyler Thompson, how you doing, my man? Hey, Coach, how you doing? Tony Morrissey, I love you, man. Thank you so much for what you do. Looking forward to updates on everything as far as the show, and as far as the individual that you helped out the other night. And I can't remember if we decided that you want to do Tuesday or not. Let me know. Let OG know. And we have the one and only Lori coming on tonight at 7-ish. But Coach, let me know if I know we were bringing up this week. There you go. You answered my question. Thank you. Actually, I know it was taken care of, because once you told me, I was going to say, I know I told OG about the scheduling and stuff like that, but that's not true at all, because I am in timeout purgatory. I am not, or scheduling purgatory. I'm not allowed to do that. Yeah, I tell you, Coach, this voice of mine, I don't know what's going on. It'll be okay. I mean, and I appreciate that. And if anyone knows what that's like, it's you, because, it's just. Let's see. I'm sorry. I just looked at two different comments. Coach, you popped up and said, "Take care of yourself." And as soon as I went to read it, Tyler's comment popped right up, like right in the spot of yours. So, man, you're right. I do need some rest because things are starting to go blurry. But the crazy thing is with my voice is this happened actually a lifetime ago. I was working at St. John Main Hospital, and I was taking care of this guy, and I was working in physical therapy, and just a great dude, loved hockey, and he surprised me one day. He goes, "Listen, man, really appreciate everything you've done for me." He goes, "I know you are a huge hockey fan. I love hockey, and I've got tickets for the Red Wing game. My wife's working, can't go. I'd love for you to go." Went to the game, had a great time, and we were just out, enjoying the game. Afterwards, we went to the bar, had a couple beers. Just like I said, this was forever ago. Um, the next day, I came to work and I got there in the morning, doing my thing, and it was literally said something to one of my coworkers, went to finish the sentence, and midway through, I just lost my voice. I mean, it went from this, I couldn't even, didn't even sound like this. And the good thing about working at a hospital is one, I worked there for so long that I knew everybody just from me yapping away. And it happened to be upstairs was an ENT who I knew. So I called and he goes, "Come on up, man." So I went upstairs and he took this little freaking mirror, just like the dentist uses to check your teeth. But what he did is he pushed down on my tongue and then he took that mirror and shoved it down my throat. And he's like, okay. He goes, "Man," he goes, "your vocal cords are so inflamed." He said, "Were you screaming or yelling?" And I was like, "No, man. I mean, I went to the hockey game, but it's not like, it was nothing." Um, I have had issues in the past, just minor stuff that I really never had it taken care of. So he goes, "Okay, well," he goes, "I got to check down even further because they're so inflamed I can't see with the mirror." So he pulls out this thing. It looks like a scope where you could like look through, and it had like almost like an endoscopy, but this thing was the size of like I mean, it was so tiny, like a noodle. And as soon as I see this thing, he goes, "Okay." So I see it, and he starts to come to me. So I open my mouth, and he goes, "No, put your head forward." He took this thing and shoved it up my nose, all the way down my sinus cavity, so he could see my throat, my get down into my vocal cords. He goes, "Your vocal cords are trashed," and couldn't explain why. Now, back when with the police department and different things, there was a lot of yelling back in the day. But yeah, so unfortunately, now this is something added on to my little checklist of issues, and but that's all right, man. No big deal. Speaking of which, Coach, talk about taking care of themselves. Um, Coach doesn't stop ever, ever. I mean, and it's contagious within the Morrissey household. Mimi, all my nephews, the nieces, everybody there in the Morrissey household, they're workers or go-getters. They're helping everybody, sometimes at the extent of expense of themselves. The this a week ago, this past Saturday, was the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters Foundation event in New Milford, Connecticut. And so Coach and the amazing team that is assembled were there, probably 4 in the morning, getting everything set, and he is nonstop. Coach is moving from the minute his eyes open till they close. And we got there and we're walking around, meeting. The best part was the people that we have met, the connections that we made. Um, just the pure love and respect that you felt with each and every hello was incredible. And again, and I keep saying this about Coach, about Tony Morrissey and Mimi, because they are way too humble of people and of a family to take any credit for anything. And um, I've said it many times. They could have taken this absolute tragedy that happened to Brian and dealt with it as a family and taken care of each other as a family to move on, try to move on with the rest of your life. And no one would have blamed you. I mean, no one would blame any of us if we do that, but that's not what Coach does, or Mimi, or any of the family of the Morrissey family, or the family in Connecticut. They reach out and help and just give, give, give. And like I said, about up till the expense of themselves. And Coach was walking around so much that, like I said, those of you who know me, I'm a former police officer at EMT, as well as a one percenter motorcycle club member. And all of a sudden, I noticed Coach could barely walk. So I'm like, man, what's going on? And he's like, man, I don't know, something, my calf. I really did something to my calf, to the point where it wasn't just this little sore. This son of a bitch was hurting. I swear to God, it was like personal. And he took it personal, and it was like, this ain't slowing me down. So it's like right there, man, hope dealer. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Nothing gets in our way. Nothing slows us down. Addiction doesn't stop. Addiction doesn't take a day off. Coach, Mimi, the rest of us, we don't take days off either. But the EMT in me popped out a little bit, and OG was there. And the first thing I thought of is, because he didn't fall, he didn't have any type of trauma or contusion. So I'm thinking DVT, which is it's called deep vein thrombosis, a clot that can form in the calf. And if it breaks loose, it can go to through your lungs, heart, and kill you. So, checked them all out, and Coach was good, besides being in a lot of pain. So he was off to the races, man. So like I said, I've just got the ultimate respect for all you guys. Just getting old, catching up to you, man. Yes, that is true. That is true. I mean, you can't stop us. Like I said, addiction doesn't take a day off. We don't take a day off. But for those of you, I got to put this up there. Coach said, just stop. You were just trying to catch a feel of my manly calves. Hey, you know what? When you got good legs, you got good legs. So we got, right about now, I'm waiting for you to throw something out about Skylar. So I know you're being nice. So I figure I'm going to let you do that. That way it'll keep your mind off of, throwing some zingers at me. Or you can still, throw them at Coach or at Rick, because he does give you a lot of shit about his Red Sox. And oh, man, I shouldn't have even said that. But oh, well, we'll forget that I even brought sports up. But tomorrow, please join us at 7 p.m. ish. That old dude. The old dude that Coach is talking about right now is the one and only Rick DeVell. And I tell you, what a great guy. I mean, like I said, the people and it's so funny, all these people. Yeah, we should ask how this weekend went. We'll get Rick. We'll do another segment where we get us all popped on here again, so we can actually do that like we did last time. Except this time we'll get Anna when she's on at home, so she can. What does that say? Go Tigers! For some reason, it's blurred out, Coach. Does anyone else know what this says? Go Tigers! After this week, Coach, I got to give it to you, man. Go Yankees. Give you that one, because we lost to the last place White Sox. And you know what? You gotta call it like it is. You have to. You can't sit there and gloat on your team when your team is, I mean, yeah, you can. What am I saying? When your team's kicking ass and dominating, be damn proud of them. Be a real fan, but be that same fan when they're doing shitty. Don't be like some people and turn on them like they got the plague and say, "Oh, well, you're a fan." Ah, you're a fan when it's convenient. But for I gotta say, our Detroit team did not fare well this weekend, Coach. Yesterday, our Tigers lost to the White Sox, and our Lions lost to the Packers. But game one, we've got many left, and it's a new. Uh-oh. I think the Wonder Dog's coming in for a kill. Come on, Susie. Come on, Susie. Let's see. Is she gonna do it? Yeah, there she goes. And there's her butt. she just stays right here too. She's shy. But okay, what do we got? Don't start with that nonsense, bro. Detroit, is that the JV high school team? The way they played yesterday, that would be insulting to the JV team. Like I said, man, I will throw my Detroit team the praise and glory all around, good, bad, or ugly. But be a man when your team sucks or plays a shitty ass game. You got to suck it up and you got to say it like it is. And I was so disappointed in our Lions yesterday. Offense, defense, everything. I mean, it was not a good game. And some of the announcers, some of the radio hosts that are on some of the sports channels that I listen to in the morning drive me insane, absolutely insane. The one show in the morning that I listened to, some of the hosts, this was not this year, last year, when our Tigers were absolute garbage going up until the last part of the season. And they were made fun of by these, especially this one host, Costa, 97.1. It's Costa and Jansen and Heather. And I think it's a producer, Gov, or whatever they call them. And they just, especially Costa, man, and Gov were just talking about how the just garbage, and then the thought of them making the playoffs, just making a mockery of it because it was true. But what happens? AJ Hinge pulls this amazing feat of the bullpen magic out, and we make it all the way to the playoffs and damn near, make a run for it. So next thing you know, they're tooting the horn for the Tigers. Can you believe this? After mocking them like they were just a joke. And you know what? If you're going to talk about a team, what really pissed me off, and this is something that drives me nuts, when you have people have a position like this, like what I'm doing, you give someone a camera and a microphone, can hit a button that says go live, and you can connect with people from around the world. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. You don't know if one person is watching or thousands of people are watching. You don't know the impact that you're going to have or not. You don't know who those people are as far as what kind of stroke they have, who they might be, who they know, who they don't know. And one of the Detroit Tigers is our shortstop. Well, now center fielder as well, Javi Baez. Javi played for the Cubs and I can't remember who else. And back in the day, damn good player. Came to Detroit with Avila, signed this monster, crazy, ridiculous contract that makes him the highest paid Tiger in the history of baseball. I'm just kidding. But for the last 3 years or more, my dates are not exact, but for the last, I don't know how many years, Javi Baez went from being like an all-star to a running joke among the MLB, the Detroit media, the Detroit fans, because he could not hit a ball if it was held in front of him. It was terrible. And you know what? You call it like you see it. Your job as a sports host of a show, give your opinion and stuff like that on what you see. What really upset me about this guy, I think his name's Tom Milliken. They call him the Gov, 97.1 in the morning, is he obviously could not stand Javi Baez. He made that very clear. He tore this man up about his play, about how terrible he was, how they needed just to cut him and take this huge, huge financial loss. And you know what? He was right. because he was talking about the man's play on the field. And I got no problem with that. But what I have a problem with are these keyboard warriors who sit behind a freaking microphone, a monitor, and a keyboard, and they start talking about beyond the athletic part of a person. For instance, he's going on and on about, like I said, Baez, and you're talking about the man's play. Hey, he was 100% right. That's how terrible it was. I agreed with it all, but I've always been a fan about Baez because he's as gritty as he comes. He is a teammate's teammate. You want him on your team if you're a teammate, just because of all the stuff I've heard about him from former players. That if you want someone to stick up for you on your team, he's the first one there, the last one to leave, man. That's who he is as far as his character. What drove me freaking insane was they were talking about Javi, and these other hosts were saying, well, he's trying. He's got to be trying. The coaches see something, and this guy Milliken's like, no, he's not. He doesn't care about anything. He's not doing. He doesn't give anything to the locker room in a positive way. He's started literally attacking the man's character, and then he said, "This is my opinion, and I can give my opinion if I want to." You're correct, Milliken, about sports, about his play, but he literally attacked this man's character, saying that in the locker room, he brings nothing as far as the other players helping them in any way possible. Emotionally, he brings nothing. I mean, he starts tearing him apart, how he's the worst thing that could ever happen. Being in the locker room still, he shouldn't be, that he is absolutely brings nothing positive to the Tigers. That's where you cross the line. Coming from some guy who maybe plays softball, or I don't, that's me attacking his character now, which makes me as bad as his ass is. But you know what? Don't if someone that you don't know anything about, was pretty ass shitty thing to do, and I called him out on it. And of course, people. I know some people who know some people, and it never went any further than that. But to attack people's character and stuff when you have this responsibility, and I know I'm on a tangent right now, but when you have this ability, you can do it within reason. Use this responsibility that you have in social media in a positive way, not to tear people down. Lo and behold, Javi gets hip surgery during the off season. Javi comes back and told the coach, I will do whatever it takes to give to this team, to give anything I can to be part of this team. They didn't cut him, and he was put in center field, a shortstop. Well, shortstops are generally probably the best athletes on the field because of their position, what they do, and all that stuff. Lo and behold, 97-1 in this Milliken, what a joke it is, starts ripping on Javi before he even takes his first fly ball. Where did we see Javi? And coach, you know this because our good buddy Dave Stevens happened to be at the same place that Javi Baez was. Oh, the All-Star game. Why was he there? Because he was a starting center fielder in the All-Star game. So there you go. So if you want to judge people, judge them by what you know, not what you think. Judge them by their actions, not by your own assumptions. Man, someone lit a fire under my ass, and I think it's because I got coach here. I mean, and I'm not joking. I'm not kidding, coach, because you are someone that I truly admire, along with Rick and Elvis and Tito and Anna and Mimi and Bo and Jaden and Mason and Rach and Maddie and all of the Hope dealers and Casey, all of them. And it's just I blame it's all your fault. Everything that you see going on right now during this tangent is because of Coach Tony Morrissey. But I truly mean that in a good way. You are associated with, and you become the environment that you are a part of. And I'm living proof of that, man, because for the longest time, um, to put it the best way possible, I was an evil son of a bitch. Um, um, I could sit here and blame addiction, um, but I'm not gonna because, yes, it was during a very bad time. Yes, um, the addiction, being under the influence, I did and said a lot of terrible things, but you know what? I did it. No one put a gun to my I always say every time I say that I laugh. When I say no one put a gun to my head, well, actually they did, and they pulled the trigger. That's why I've got a plate under this eye. And that didn't even help me. Um, but you know, now I associate with Coach, Rick, Dave Stevens, Anna, Elvis. I mean, the list goes on and on. And you become a better person because of it. And I am so truly blessed. I really am. To be able to pick up this phone, have Coach's number, along with all the other people I mentioned, and then the numerous others that in a million years I never thought that I would have contact with. And I mean, just contact to say that I know these people, but to know them on such a personal level where I could call them in the middle of the night and as a friend, as family, is such a true blessing. And it's something I do not take lightly at all. And that's part of our extended family. And I love you, Coach. And please, this is for everybody and anybody. And I'm going to be posting it again. We've got Lori tonight. Lori Massunia from Athens, Alabama, with Ride. Oh my God, I can't. The name just screwed with me. Ride with Me Addiction Support with Athens, Alabama. Coach is giving autographs, $12 each. I tell you what, Coach, for the people that swarm you, as you could, because you are that celebrity that brings out the best of people and that motivation. So, Coach is definitely the right term for you. And but tonight, back to Lori. We are going to have Lori on at 7 ish and discuss things going on in Athens, Alabama, things going on in Lori's life, um, the recap of things that have happened since the event that she had. Tomorrow, we are having the one and only Coach, Tony Morrissey, come on again, right around 7. And we're going to go over it's like going over the playbook of like the post game and everything that uh, happened on August the 30th in New Milford, Connecticut, which was my first experience being part of the um, very damn proud of that. And OG's got one too, only because Coach is a good guy and didn't want her to feel bad by not. I'm just kidding. Definitely it is truly an honor to get those certificates from the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters Foundation as official Hope dealers. That is something that we're going to be mounting in the studio. And it is an honor, absolute honor to have that and that recognition. But this is the first of many, many, many. Well, you know what? I don't want to say first of many, many, because we are around as long as addiction's around, and we're never going to stop that fight. Just like my fight, our war, and the goal is to stomp addiction back to hell where it belongs one day, where we don't have to keep having events to keep sharing all of these things and stories and um, stuff that goes on with the terrible addiction, with what happens with fentanyl and all these other god awful drugs that are coming around. It's like never ending, man. I mean, you think you got a grip on something, and lo and behold, something even worse comes knocking at the door. Well, I tell you what, as long as they come knocking, Coach is going to open that fucking door. And as long as he opens that door, I'm going to be standing right next to him in that door. And you want to fight? We'll fight. And, I just listed off of fraction of all the people that are involved with us. And so as long as that's around, long as Coach, needs Hope Dealers around, we are part of this family and we are here for the long run. So you guys have a great rest of your day. It is 4:30 here in Detroit, Michigan. So we will be going on in about 2.5 hours live with Lori. And so I got to start. Let's see. Okay. Y'all. Okay. How y'all doing? No, y'all doing okay? You fixing to have dinner? Let's see. Bless your heart. I'm practicing. So, other than that, Coach, thank you for spending some time on here with us, and Lori and Tyler. I saw you. I don't know if anyone else was, because as of, like I said, with the monitor, um, I see some people, but the rest show up on the phone when we are doing the live. So not sure. Um, but that looks like about it. Coach, I love you, man. And thank you for everything. And Leroy just pops on as we're signing off. But Leroy, we are going back on at 7 o'clock tonight. But not more important. We are also doing some stuff, Leroy, back up in the studio that we'll talk to you more about when Ian and our producer, Matt Cronin, get back from California. But Leroy, join us not only tonight at 7 with Lori, but spread the word tomorrow at 7-ish with Coach, with Tony Morrissey. So until then, love you guys. There you go. Enough said. We will see you in a little bit. Love you, Leroy. Check us out in a little while. Keep fighting a good fight, guys.